Good morning, grade 8s. I hope you had a great long weekend. Today we are going to continue on with Chapter 8, specifically 8.5, Applying Integer Operations. This will be a two-part lesson. So today you'll have this video, Lesson 1, and then on Thursday I will post Lesson 2, which will involve more of the problem-solving type questions. Okay, so after this lesson, you will be able to apply the order of operations to solve problems involving integers. Before we get into that, we're going to do some integer review. So we're going to start off with the addition. So we have positives and negatives. If we think about positives as the good guys and negatives as the bad guys, we can group and make things a little bit easier for us. So if we think about positives, good guys, and then our negatives are our bad guys. We talked about this in class before, and now I just want to refresh your memory because I know it helped a few of you for sure. Okay, starting off, we have positive 12 plus positive 4. So we have good plus good. So that is going to give us good. More good guys. So same team. 12 plus 4, it's going to give us positive 16. But remember, you don't need to write the sign when you are dealing with positives. Okay, next one. We have positive 12, good guys, plus negative 4, bad guys. So now, we look at this. We have two different teams. Which is the bigger team? Well, that's the positive, right? So we know that our answer has to be positive. And then we look at the difference between 12 and 4. What's the difference between 12 and 4? 8. So our answer is positive 8. Last one, we have negative 12 plus negative 4. So we have bad guys plus bad guys. So that's just going to give us more bad guys. I'll write that. Plus bad equals more bad. Okay, so now we can look at this. We know our answer is going to be negative. We have 12 and 4, which gives us 16. So our answer is negative 16. Okay, moving on to subtraction. Just a reminder, when you subtract, it's like you are adding the opposite. So looking at this, we'll think of it with good and bad guys again. We have good guys, 12 good guys, and we are taking away 4 good guys. So if we're saying we're adding the opposite, that's like saying good plus bad, which would just be like saying negative 4. Okay, so we have 12 and we're taking away 4. So 12 good guys and we're taking away 4 good guys, which means we are left with 8 good guys. Okay, next one. We have, we have 12 good guys, and we're taking away bad guys. And remember, when we're subtracting, it's like we're adding the opposite. So this is like saying good plus the opposite, which is good. So that would be positive 4. So 12 plus 4 gives us 16. And then the last one we have here, I'm just going to extend this. All right. So we have negative 12. So bad guys. And we are taking away bad guys. So that is like saying bad, and we add the opposite. So we're adding good guys, which would be positive 4. So then we look at this just like we did addition. We have 2 different teams. Which one's the bigger team? Our negative in this case. So we know that negative is going to win. Then we see what's the difference between negative 12 and positive 4. Well, negative 8. Okay, moving on to integer multiplication and division rules. So positive divided or multiplied by a positive is going to give you a positive. Positive divided or multiplied by a negative is going to give you a negative. Negative divided by or multiplied by a positive is going to give you a negative. And then lastly, a negative divided or multiplied by a negative will always give you a positive. Last bit of review here, BEDMAS. Order of operations, otherwise known as BEDMAS. So to start off, we're going to label each of these. What does the B stand for? Brackets. Then we have exponents. And we have division. M stands for multiplication. We have the A for addition, and then we have, oh, that was weird. We'll go oops, technical difficulty, give me a second, sorry, to this. Okay, that should work. And subtraction. Okay, so this gives us the order. So as we see things, we need to decide. If we have brackets in our problem, that comes first. Then exponents. Then division or multiplication from left to right. Left to right. And then we have addition or subtraction, and that is also left to right. Okay, so we're going to do some examples here. Using order of operations, can we solve negative 15 divided by negative 3 minus positive 4 plus, minus positive 4 times negative 2. So first thing, we have BEDMAS written on the side to make it easier for us. So I always recommend writing BEDMAS up on the top of your page so you can always refer to it so you don't skip a step. So we have no brackets, nothing inside of brackets that can be solved. We have no exponents. Do we have division? Yes, we do. So that is right here. So we have negative 15 divided by negative 3. Negative divided by a negative gives us a positive 5. And then we're going to drop everything else down. I'm just going to not write. Actually, we'll keep it that way. Positive 4 times negative 2. Okay, next thing. We have our multiplication. So we're going to solve that. We have 4 times negative 2. Positive times a negative gives us a negative, and we're going to drop down the rest. Okay, we have 5 minus negative 8. When we subtract, it is like we are adding the opposite. So that is like saying 5 plus 8. Well, what's 5 plus 8? 13. Okay, another example here. Do we have brackets? Anything that can be solved inside? No. Exponents? No. Division? Yes. So we'll solve this division statement here. Negative 14 divided by 2. Think about our rules. Negative divided by positive is going to give you a negative. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And we're going to drop everything else down to do the next step. Okay, now brackets, no. Exponents, no. Division, no. Multiplication, no. Addition or subtraction, and remember, that is left to right. That is left to right. So do we have subtraction? Yes. So we'll work on those. Negative 6 minus negative 9. Again, when you're subtracting a negative, you're adding the opposite. So now we have negative 6 plus 9. Two different teams. Which team is bigger? It's going to be the positive. What's the difference between 6 and 9? 3. Plus negative 7. Same concept. Adding two different integers. We have positive and negative. Which team's bigger? The negative. What's the difference between 7 and 3? 4. All right, last one, and then I'll have an example for you to try. Negative 8 plus negative 2 times 4 plus negative 1. First thing, do we have brackets? Yes, we have these square brackets here. So we have work that we need to do inside. So we have 4 plus negative 1. So same thing. Positive is the bigger team. What's the difference? 3. And then we will drop everything else down. Okay, next step. No brackets left, no exponents, no division, multiplication. Yep. Negative 2 times 3. Integer rules, negative times positive gives me a negative. 2 times 3 is 6. Drop down our last step. Negative 8 plus negative 8, same team. Our negative is just going to get bigger. So that gives us negative 14. All right, show you know. I want you to do this example on your own. Make sure you follow BEDMAS, and remember, division and multiplication are left to right, and addition and subtraction are left to right. Give this a shot, pause the video. Once you're done, you can press play. Okay, so this example here, do we have brackets? We sure do. So we have negative 5 minus negative 2. So again, when we are subtracting a negative, it's like we are adding the opposite. So now we have negative 5 plus 2. Two different teams. Which team's bigger? The negative. What's the difference between 5 and 2? 3. And then we'll drop down the rest of our stuff. Okay, next step. No brackets left, exponents no, division yes, and multiplication. And remember, that goes left to right. So we're going to do our multiplication first. So we have 4 times negative 3. Remember, negative times positive gives us a negative. And we're going to drop down the rest of our problem. Okay, and now we have multiplication again. So we're going to solve that. Negative times a negative gives us a positive. So that is 12 divided by 3 is 4. And then drop down our last operation. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. People make mistakes. I'm only human. Sorry, guys. We have multiplication. I did division there. So we have negative 12 times negative 3. So it's going to give us a positive. 12 times 3 is 36. My apologies. I was thinking that's not going to work. All right. And now we have 36 divided by 9. Positive divided by a positive is going to give us a positive. And 36 divided by 9 is equal to 4. Okay, that's it for today's lesson. I have posted some IXL and some practice questions that I want you to do today. Tomorrow we will have a Google Meet. Check Google Classroom for the time. And then Thursday I will post the next video with more of the problem solving type questions. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Have a good week.